we talk about becoming more self-sufficient, one of the things that we need to do is take a look around at our property and see what are some of the things that we have, resources that we aren't currently using or are underusing. We have a comfrey patch that was here when we got here, and we need to start using that in the garden this year for a green fertilizer. We have an apple tree that we haven't utilized the apples from. We have wild plum trees and mulberry trees that we could be using. And some of it has to do just with our lawn. This is the month of May. We have dandelions coming up. A lot of people consider them weeds, but they're actually highly nutritious, the greens and the flowers. And then in June, that will become a field of white clover, which we need to be utilizing also. But today, we're going to focus on using some of these dandelions in a dandelion jelly. I'm told that it tastes like honey, so we're going to find that out. The first thing I did was go out and pick a whole lot of dandelions. You need about 8 cups of dandelion flowers, and then you need to sit down and take all of those lovely golden petals and drop them in a jar. I will say that this is probably the part that I enjoyed the least. It took me an hour and a half, somewhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours, to get enough dandelion petals into my jar. You want about 4 cups of dandelion petals, unless you pack them down. If you're packing them down, it's about 2 cups, but altogether about 4 unpacked cups of dandelion petals. Now, I found the best way to do this, if you're going to try this, is to cut the end off and then peel the green away and drop the rest of it into the jar. The green is a little bitter, and so if you leave the green in, it's going to give it a little bit more bitter taste. Now, I noticed that there's really no way you can not get at least some of the green in there, unless you want to take, 4 hours or something to try to get this together. So once you've got about 4 cups of the yellow petals, or 2 cups packed, you need to boil some water. Boil about 4 cups of water. And then what we're going to do is sort of make a dandelion tea. Once the water is boiling, you can pour it into the jar, pour it all the way to the top. We steeped this right in this jar. Now you can steep it for an hour or more, but no more than 24 hours. Ours has been steeping for about 18 hours. And what we want is to have about 3 3/4 to 4 cups of the dandelion tea for this recipe. So you can see here that I have my supplies. I've got a stainless steel pot that I'm going to be boiling this in. I've got my dandelion tea, and here I've got a measuring cup, like a 4-cup measure, with a mesh strainer and some cheesecloth in it, because we're going to strain it into this measuring cup. Ooh, it does smell a little like honey. So now we're going to gather up this cheesecloth, and we're going to squeeze out all we can, all of the goodness. You see it's got a beautiful golden color. And again, we're going to go for 3 3/4 cups to 4 cups. I am noticing that we are just shy of the 4-cup mark. I'm going to go ahead and add a little water because we steeped this for 18 hours. And so I don't think that's going to hurt at all. Okay, that's giving us about 3 3/4 cups. Now we're going to add that into our pot. And into the pot also goes 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Now you can make this and just fridge it instead of actually water bath canning it. But we're going to water bath can it. And if you are water bath canning it, be sure not to skip the lemon juice. Lemon juice changes the acidity and makes it stable for canning. To this, we're also going to be adding a box of Sure Gel. This is just pectin, so we're going to add that in now. We're going to stir this up, and we are going to heat this over high heat. And the reason we're doing high heat is because if you don't heat it rapidly enough, it will destroy the pectin, which I learned the hard way when I was making apple jelly before, that is what happens, and I had more like an apple syrup. So let's get this on the stove. Okay, we are at a rapid boil. We're going to add 4 cups of sugar. We're going to stir to combine that and bring it back to a rapid boil for 2 minutes. Jelly is best made in small batches just because if you have a large batch, heating it to a boiling point rapidly is not so rapid. And it will destroy the pectin. We're going to go ahead and ladle this now into some jars. Grab our canning funnel. We want about 1/4 inch of head space. We want to make sure we wipe off the rim so we get a good seal. So we've got about 6 of the jelly jars, and this one I'll probably just put in the fridge. I am trying one of my reusable canning seals again. These are a little different. They have the rubber ring with the plastic reusable lid. The rubber rings are also reusable. But I'm going to put that on the top of this one. And then on these, you don't seal them all the way down. You hold your finger on it, and when it starts turning, oops, that's enough. You want it to be able to release pressure on those. And then after they've been out of the water bath canner for about 5 minutes, then we'll seal that all the way down, and hopefully that will stay closed. I could just let these cool right now on the counter. Now it could take up to 48 hours for it to set up. Usually it'll set up in about 12 hours, but could take up to 48. We'll put these in a water bath for 10 minutes, and that'll be it. We'll have some beautiful dandelion jelly to try. And speaking of trying, I'm not going to resist trying just a taste of what's left in the bottom of the pan. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. It does actually taste very similar to honey. Maybe just a hint of a more citrusy tang honey. Very, very good. it was probably worth trying to pull all those yellow petals out. So take a look at what you have around your property. What are some of the things that you are underutilizing that you could actually be using to be more self-sufficient? We are going to go over this week and make to the garden, and we're going to make a comfrey tea, or we're going to start a comfrey tea brewing, and I'm going to show you how to do that, and we're going to talk about just how beneficial comfrey is to the garden. So stay with us. In the next couple of days we'll have that video, and also I'm going to be planting a lot this week, so you're going to be seeing a lot out in the garden. Have a great couple of days. We certainly hope that you go out and make somebody smile today. We'll see you next time.